The Soul of Detroit presents.
Come in. Welcome. I'm
M.L. Elric.
Many of you within the sound of my voice will be present at the birth of the 21st century. Some among us were born a little too early for that. We'll just have to sit around and guess what life in the 2000s may be like. And one person's guess is as good as another's, except for the scientists who claim to have sort of an inside track on the future. They think, some of them, that they know where we're headed.
Mark, the instruments here are going crazy.
I think what we've been suspecting all along may already be happening.
Sean.
I'm almost sure of it. Get into your choppers and head north immediately. Don't stop for a thing. It may be the end of the world.
You asked interrogative question around my face. It's gone.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
That is not paid for by them. That is paid for by the people of Detroit.
You might be qualified, M.L.
I'm not qualified for this job.
Let me tell you something. You want to go right now? Okay? You want to go right now, Albert?
Well, hello, my good friends. We have a jam-packed show for you here today at the Soul of Detroit. Mark, were you a little happier with this week's intro?
Yeah, it was super easy. Thank you.
I thought you undersold the mark on the edit. It just kind of, I don't know if that's false modesty or what.
I don't like saying my own name.
Really? Okay.
I can relate.
You don't like saying my name either, Sean? Is that what
I
you're
love
saying?
saying your name. I don't like saying my name. Mike makes up for both of us 100-fold.
Repeatedly.
There's a great Love and Rockets song where he says, I am no exception, please call my name, but no new tale to tell. I think we've done it on this show before.
Bloop.
But yes, while he was supposed to be waiting to be introduced, Sean Windsor chimed in. So, Sean, it's great to have you back in studio.
Wait, there are rules. What the?
After
No, that's good because
after being in Vegas.
I was just
He was
telling him
fussing at me.
during the
God,
intro that he needs to participate more because the show's better when Sean Windsor participates.
But then I'm stepping on Mikey's toes, and I don't know, especially when he's patting himself on
Good,
the
he
back.
needs it.
I mean, I don't want to interrupt that.
Well, then I probably this is probably a bad time to mention that if you are watching us on Facebook Live, which a few people do every week, that my hair is exactly modeled on the Spirit of Detroit statue now.
It kind of looks like it, yeah.
Same
The curly Q.
wave
Yeah,
over
or
there.
Big Boy.
Are you trying to take a Spartan
Or Big Boy.
paraphernalia and turn it
Which
into
one
an
of you is
ascot there?
Dolly? That's all I want to know.
What?
And which one of you is the little dog that used
What's
to run?
around your
Remember
neck?
Big Boy and Dolly? It's a gator. It's time to mask up, dude.
I mean, is that your
the
mask?
Delta variant is coming back.
No, I masked up until I saw you.
Oh, well, I guess you care.
It's in the car.
So thank you very much. Okay, well, that's going to do a lot of people good there. As you sit by yourself with your mask on, like some sort of stalker. We have a lot of great stuff to talk about today. We have a little campaign news, probably the most significant event to happen in any Detroit City Council race since news broke that the guy who I got in the council race to run against is going to be cooperating with the feds in a public corruption scandal.
Which was like a month ago. So.
But
what about our
This
guests?
is the most significant thing since
In
that.
a month.
Okay,
So,
we'll hear from them in a month.
When the nattering dies down, I'll introduce Jason Weber, the author of a wonderful book about Prince, how Prince saved me, and other selections from the soundtrack to my life. It's called Purple Bananas. And then we have August Gitschlag here, who's going to be talking about, I would call it the Celic 9, but it's really the Celic 8. Magnum 8,
yeah.
sorry.
Presented by Bacardi. There you go. Yeah.
Magnum 8, presented by the people who sponsored his event, but not ours. So it would be the Altus 9. Sure. Perhaps. Okay, but we'll get to that in a minute.
I got to say, I feel like you're bearing the lead.
What's that?
It's Sean's birthday today, man.
Oh, that's
well,
not the lead.
What?
That was supposed to be a big surprise later in the show, but I guess
Was it real? Are you serious?
Yeah. So
All right, never mind. I won't edit that out.
it all ties in with Room 7-609 and a bunch of other things we're doing. So
All right, sorry, geez.
So
Maybe if you got here on time.
But oh hey, it's Sean's birthday today.
Happy birthday! Thank you. He was late. He was late.
He just turned 79. Great to have you.
Yeah, but I walk like I'm 110, so that's the good part.
Wow.
Happy
and
38th birthday.
And he's available, ladies. So get those calls into Butterfield 89070. That's 313-288-90. Maybe that's why nobody calls. They think it's a Sean Windsor Dateline. Could that be what the problem? You can just leave a comment. If there's some ambiguity, let me clear that up right now. It's acceptable just to leave a comment.
Nobody wants a 55-year-old with breasts. You know what I mean? Dude.
Well, the guy, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Bald.
Don't sell yourself that short. Come on.
I mean, come on.
Your wife likes you, maybe.
Put a little space
likes me
between
or
our
not,
sponsor read and that visual. We actually have a new sponsor on the show this week. We're going a little out of order. Let me just warn super producer Joe that the new sponsor is the Caju Cafe.
You are going way out of order. But
well, because I didn't want to put our other sponsor right next to Naked Sean. I'm not sure that it's
but
really...
But the Caju's okay, all right.
Well, because... beer goggles.
Okay.
You know, they sell all the beer you need to
Fair
make
enough.
Sean look fantastic.
Tell me all about
enough beer in the world.
Including Altus, which they have behind the bar. The Caju Cafe presents 2021 Muscle Beach Music Festival, Thursday, September 2nd to Monday, September 9th. It's going to be in their 5,000 square foot beer garden known as Muscle Beach. That's Mussel, because if you know the Caju Cafe, they serve Belgian delicacies like mussels and all kinds of other great stuff.
Mussels and frites, please.
That's right.
You meant that. By the way, I'll be flexing on Muscle Beach there.
Seems like you're flexing a little bit now. Stay in your lane there,
I'm
cowboy.
sorry.
See, now you're getting mixed messages. I want more of you. He wants less of you.
Well, no, he wants more of him.
No, I just want quality content.
I mean, didn't you talk to yourself the whole way here?
I feel like
I mean, you've heard your voice for 45 minutes at least.
I feel like I'm in that scene with Bruce Lee where he's talking to the young guy about we need constructive content, whatever it is.
How about this Caju Cafe? Tell me all about it.
Oh yeah, thanks Sean. Thanks for not throwing us off. The 5-day festival pass is $25. The 3-day weekend pass is $20. Individual day tickets will be released shortly. It's $5 for Thursday, $10 for Friday or Saturday, $8 for Sunday, and $5 for Monday.
Have you mentioned for what? For what it is?
Yeah, it's a music festival.
Oh, okay.
It's the Muscle Beach Music Festival. It's the very first thing I said, as a matter of fact, presented by the Caju Cafe. Friday night, they're going to have Sonny Ledford with his band from the Carolinas. The Motor City Horns, which is led by Bob Seeger, Silver Bullet Band horn player, and your proprietor at the Caju Cafe, and sometimes guest on this show. That's a lot of build-up. John Rutherford. A local favorite, the Hand Grenades, are going to be there. On Saturday, East Side favorites, the Mugs, will be doing their first show in 2 years. The Beggars will open for them. On Sunday, Grammy winner Andrew Dost premieres new songs and band. He's best known for his work with Fun, F-U-N, who did horns, who hired John to do horns on a few gigs. He's a Traverse City guy. They've also performed at the the Detroit Music Awards, and they are best known for 3 hit singles. Sorry, it's been a long campaign that you've probably heard on the radio. We Are Young, featuring Janelle Monáe, Some Nights, and Carry On. We Are Young actually reached number 1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and Digital Songs chart. So there's a lot going on. Sunday, Kenny Tudrick, Zimmerman Twins are coming in from Toledo, which is where which our first guest, Jason Weber, hails from. Yeah, the Scrappers are headlining, another East Side favorite. Monday, all kinds of new bands. Woots coming from Kalamazoo. So when you see them...
And if you can't remember all this, cajucafe.com for all the info.
What about next September? What about September's calendar? You want to list that too?
August spawned a monster, and his name is Sean. But we do have all that information on our website, which is mlsoulofdetroit.com.
Good joint.
Yeah. Okay, so.
You all right?
I'm ready for Roy O'Brien Ford now. And I think if you're ready for a new car, you're ready for Roy O'Brien. For 75 years, they have been serving people in St. Clair Shores at the corner of 9 Mile and Mac. If you want to get a car, you want to buy it, you want to lease it, you want a used car, you want a new car, you want to trade in your car, you want to get your car serviced, you need tires, you need a top-notch oil change. You name it, you can get it all at Roy O'Brien Ford. If you go to their website, which is ROYOBRIEN.com, you can check out Fast Track, which lets you choose your vehicle and options. You can figure out whether you want to lease it, finance it, pay cash, or get the value of your trade-in. You can apply for financing and even schedule delivery of your new ride. So if you are looking for, the E-Mustang, if you're looking for the F-150 or even that sweet-ass Bronco, go to royobrien.ford in person at 9 Mile and Mack in St. Clair Shores, or go online at royobrien.com. You can give them a call, too, 888-566-5851. That's 888-566-5851. And when you call them, let them know that ML, Soul of Detroit, told you to call them because we told you to call them, and they should know that we gave you those instructions and that you follow orders, unlike some people
Yes, sir.
on this show. Or just say ML called and said call them.
Way to finish the read strong.
I'm very tired.
Is the campaign wearing you out?
No. In fact, I am rejuvenated because we got some great news this week. And I think we should probably just roll the tape for those of you watching on Facebook Live. Everybody else go to ML for Detroit and watch it yourself.
Well, is the audio any good on this?
It's fantastic.
Okay.
I'm ML Elric, candidate for District 4, Detroit City Council, with some exciting news about our campaign to bring honest change to Detroit politics. I can't tell you how pleased I am to announce we have a new team member, a guy I have nothing but respect for, and who also shares our vision for opportunity, safety, and accountability for the people of the East Side. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tucson Knights. Looks good on you, man.
All in for Mr. M.L. Elric, City of Detroit City Council for District 4. I'm excited to put my support fully behind him, and hopefully he'll bring great change to our district.
You'll see us in your neighborhood
very soon.
Hey.
So a little wind noise, but
good endorsement.
But yeah, Tucson Knight, big time get for the campaign.
He was third or fourth in your district in the primary.
He finished an incredibly strong third, so strong that I remember thinking, "Holy crap, he's going to finish second," and that's it for me.
What's he going to do for you?
He's already doing it. I mean, there's a lot of people who endorse folks because they're looking for something. They want to set themselves up for a future job. They want to get maybe their campaign debt retired. They're looking for a favor, something like that. Nothing like that. Tucson is just trying to keep involved in the revival that we have on the East Side. And we've been talking since the day after the election. We were actually talking before the election just about our shared vision and some things that we both think are important and what each of us might do depending on how the election turned out. I was prepared to support him if I didn't succeed. And unbeknownst to me, it looks like he saw some things that were worth his imprimatur. But we're talking about meeting some people together. When I called around to ask people for their support, invariably I would hear, you know what? I just talked to Tucson. Or, you should have called me before.
Oh, really?
I'm already with Tucson. Or, hey, you know what? I really like what you're doing. But I kind of said I was going to go with Tucson. So I always felt like I was always doing Newman whenever I would hear his name. But so we're getting out. We're meeting some people. And a lot of the young folks who have been working on his campaign, some of the mentees he has from Caught Up and Ceasefire. I know Sean cares about.
Did you even hear what Sean said or no?
No, because I'm focused on quality.
You,
content.
of course.
I'm more concerned if the audience heard what Sean said.
Quality content.
Like,
what did I say?
I'm not gonna say. Go ahead and rewind.
Some of these young guys will be working with us too, and getting some great experience and impressing people with the high quality of individuals that we have in the city of Detroit. Now, Sean,
it was just a tip.
Pause for crappy comment from old man.
It was
Beep. Go.
It was just a humble suggestion that maybe when you're telling a story, one example might be enough. That's all. That was it. My story's done.
Was I supposed to say something?
Well, you usually do. Yeah. Are there other endorsements out there from individuals you want to pick up? And namely, I think everybody thinks immediately about the mayor. I mean, is that an endorsement people seek out?
I think people would generally like to have the mayor support them, but I'm running my own race. I mean, I got my hands full doing what I need to do.
Is there a big person left out there that you would want their support anywhere? I mean, I honestly don't know who it would be, but is there somebody out there that
I'm actually more interested in the support of small people, the people who make up the district, the people who cast the votes. When I worked in City Hall, I'm going to use one example, Sean, if that's okay. I used to tell people that I do stories for the person who cleans the mayor's office, not for the mayor. And that's the way I feel about this. There were a lot of people at the beginning of the race, like, you got to call this elected official, you got to call that elected official. And I made some calls, but it never really excited me all that much, because I think what's going to help people make up their mind is an encounter or some sort of interaction with me, rather than somebody who's been elected to something telling them, hey, you need to support this guy. And there are some very prominent elected officials who have offered to support me, and we may be rolling some of that out going forward. But to me, really what makes a difference for people is that engagement, that opportunity to ask questions and have conversations, and the rest of it comes later, because you can have everybody in the world endorse you and still flame out if you're just sitting here saying, well, they told you to vote for me, so go ahead and vote for me. I mean, who the hell wants to vote for somebody who does stuff like that?
Fair enough. There's also a lot of people that will just vote because they like this person and that's who they endorse.
There might be some of that. There might be some of that. I don't know. But that's not how we do it.
Did you get an email or a text that's more important than the show?
No, I was just looking up my Bruce Lee thing that I mangled earlier. Emotional content. That's what I'm looking for. Emotional content.
What
Does
about,
anybody know what I'm talking about?
What about distractionary content?
Do you know emotional content? Okay, anyways.
Is this you?
Well, speaking of
unknown? No.
Regarding emotional content.
Yes. Oh, yes. Emotional
That's
content.
The easiest segue in the world.
Yeah. So I want to introduce the listening public to Jason Weber, who I met at Wayne State University when he was in a journalism class that I was teaching. May have been the very first one I taught. It was pretty early in my teaching career.
Yeah, that was in either 2002, 2003, somewhere around there.
Yeah. It was back when I was young and beautiful, and Sean.
I was never young and beautiful.
Yeah, Sean was still pretty decrepit. But I mean, we just, it's his birthday. We'll sing and stuff, but we're not going to.
Oh, you don't need to sing.
But Jason was a very talented student and has gone on to a incredibly varied career, working in politics, working for the Insane Clown Posse, and he's authored a book about Prince, Purple Bananas, and I think it's also about Jason, how Prince saved me and other selections from the soundtrack to my life. So, Jason, tell us a little bit about why Prince, of all artists, moved you and how he saved your life.
Oh, man.
I mean, I remember how he gave you CPR the one time. But the metaphorical saving.
Right.
If it's okay with Sean. Give more than one example.
Are you going to let him answer?
Sure.
It can be very intimidating sitting across from Sean.
It is, believe me.
Just the glare from his dome and love.
Sean, you've already got under his skin so bad today. I love it.
I like dormant Sean.
I'm just doing what Mark's told me to do. That's all. We love Mike.
No, man. The book. I got the idea for the book actually on the day Prince died. That was April 21st, 2016.
That's why there's no blurb on the cover from him.
That's right. Okay. That's right.
Fun fact, same day a bird took a shit on my head. That's how I will always remember it.
All of a sudden, Sean doesn't seem so annoying.
All right. So, yeah, he dies.
He dies. And at the day he died, I was working for ICP at the time. And so I was just... him and David Bowie have always been my favorite singers, and when he passed away, it just blew a hole right through my heart, basically. Because his music had gotten me through a really, really screwed up childhood and a really, really screwed up adolescence and everything, and his music was always just kind of like an angel on my shoulder. So when he passed away, I was like, well, now what? We still had the music and everything, but there was just something about knowing that Prince was out there making new music and everything, and
Bowie had just passed away too. Now
2016 sucks. I mean, next to 2020, 2016 was like the worst year on record because Bowie passed away a few months prior.
Yeah,
Yes, and then Prince died, and then so I was just devastated. So I started writing just my thoughts about Prince passing away, and it turned into a book because I realized that for most of my life that his music had been, and Prince himself had been kind of a Jiminy Cricket to me. And I got a lot of just so much joy and so much comfort in his music when I was growing up. And I started writing the book just chronicling specifically how Prince's music had actually helped me get through life. You know.
So give us an example of one moment where you're like, okay, without Prince, I'm not here today.
Sure. There's actually a really good example in the book. I was talked out of a suicide sound by a Prince song.
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
Which one?
Anastasia.
Don't kill yourself, Jason.
I'm not,
It's a B-side.
It's
nice making light of his attempt, by the way.
Jason's here to tell the tale.
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah. No, it's from a song from his Love Sexy album called Anastasia. It's really obscure. But
was that the Jack You Off's album?
No, that's Controversy.
Okay. Oh, Controversy. Sorry.
Great album. No, I was going through some serious depression. I was a senior in high school at the time, going through some major depression, and it was just one of those dark nights of the soul where you just want to kill yourself. You know, I wasn't getting along with my parents. My siblings wouldn't talk to me. I just felt alone, just completely alone. And so I started thinking about self-harm, and I was going to go into I was going to do a stunt that I saw in a movie where you saw in a porno movie, The Devil and Miss Jones, where she killed herself in the bathtub.
Okay.
Right? And so I was gonna do something similar to that, you know, because I hear you soak into the hot tub and then you don't really feel as you cut your wrist, right? So I'm there in my room and I'm listening to the Love Sexy album, and the song Anastasia just really got under my skin at that particular moment.
Was it the hook? Was it a lyric? Was it?
It's the lyrics, man. Because
give us a little synopsis. What is it in particular?
You know what it was is it's a really, really sad song. I mean, Prince talks about I think the first lyrics go, "Have you ever wanted to love someone? You would take anyone, boy or girl. Anastasia, talk to me. You know." And it's just the lyrics are about loneliness. The lyrics are about needing God, and being raised in a really, really, really Christian household like I was. My views on God were really conflicted because on one hand you had my parents and my pastor talking about fire and brimstone and all this Jesus freak stuff, but Prince, whenever he would sing about God, it was in a very, very loving, a very, very nurturing kind of way. And at the time that I was feeling suicidal, Anastasia was just the perfect song for me. And I had a fish fillet knife that I was gonna do this with, and I just was like, nah, you know what? Screw that. I'm not gonna do it. I live for another day. Let's there's good music. There's and as long as I've got Prince and everything, maybe I can get through life. So that's an example.
When was this?
This would have been 93 or 94.
So long after the music had been released.
Yeah.
So you kind of found it on your own, or
yeah. I my first two Prince albums were Diamonds and Pearls and Graffiti Bridge back in the early '90s, and at that point I was collecting his past catalog.
It's crazy because you write in here too that that's the most connected you felt to any kind of higher power, even having going to church and something.
Yeah.
He just got that message across in that song where
it was beautiful.
Preachers apparently didn't.
Exactly.
Did you talk to anybody about that situation, your parents or anything, or did you just keep it to yourself?
I told my best friend Chris about it after the fact.
Yeah.
And he was just like, well, dude, why didn't you come talk to me about it? But it was
so easy.
Yeah, but it's teenage angst and everything. When you're that young, you think everything's the end of the world and everything. But no, man. I mean, that was one instance where it wasn't just a cry for help. I mean, I seriously wanted to kill myself. And it was. Anastasia from the Love Sexy album saved my life.
Did you talk to your parents eventually?
Not about that. No, I didn't. My relationship with my parents was kind of wacky because they I'm adopted for one thing, And I was adopted by this, white Christian family. I'm half Mexican, so there was a lot of just I never really quite fit in that family structure. And my parents, they loved me, but talking to them was like reading Sanskrit to a pony. It just didn't work.
That's what Sean's editors say about his work. Sanskrit from a pony. But Prince was a big part of my high school, and I'm a little older, experience because I used to listen to the Electrifying Mojo. And they had a show on the Purple People that was basically bringing Prince out. And the thing is, as a white guy listening to an urban station, the crossover wasn't so much people listening to the station being introduced to Prince, it was people being introduced to Aerosmith and heavy metal, and Mojo used to mix metal with Prince, and he had so many different shows, Midnight Funk Association, everything like that. But he would use Prince to introduce people to other concepts and other kind of music, where Prince was sort of this ambassador to every sort of message, every sort of sound, and it transcended white and black, and he was Prince's music was very powerful when it was contemporary, let alone when you're going through the back catalog like you were. And I wonder, but he also was someone who, he was very flamboyant, very promiscuous. And I wonder, in a Christian household, when your parents said, well, we're glad you're okay, you seem like you're okay, but I don't know if we want this Prince music in the house. I mean, how did they react to hearing Prince coming from the bathroom when you're in there? And it's Anastasia. And can you get out of the can?
When I was a kid, I was forbidden from listening to Prince. Okay. Because in '84, when Purple Rain came out, I asked my mom if I could buy this album, and my mom was like, absolutely not, because my dad thought Prince was gay. My dad was real homophobe. My mom just thought that Prince was of the devil because he was always singing about sex and Darling Nikki. And
let me guess, that made you want to listen to it more.
I was like, absolutely. Yeah. I was just like, who's that guy again? Just wrote, and it's like, Prince, must check him out. And by the early '90s, my parents had kind of relaxed a little bit. So like my grandmother bought me my first Prince album for Christmas.
All right.
So go grandma. But yeah, my parents didn't really know what to make of Prince, but eventually they did kind of lighten up a little bit. And in '97, I actually took them to a Prince concert.
Oh, really?
Which was pretty amazing.
Okay, you got to tell us about that.
Yeah, that was. I mean, to this day, that's one of the best experiences of my life because my parents going from. I used to have to hide my Prince records in my sock drawer, but now I'm taking them to see Prince, and they had a great time.
Did they carry Bic lighters?
No, they didn't. I did though during Purple Rain. But they didn't.
So how did you get them from Prince is forbidden to okay, we'll go to a show with you, and then they not only went, they dug it.
Yeah, they really dug it. It just took a lot of time, and also my parents, as they got older, kind of stepped away from the evangelical Christianity a little bit. So they were still Christians, but they weren't quite as fire and brimstone, and you're going to go to hell if you listen to Prince.
Right.
So they mellowed with age.
Okay.
I was the oldest in my family, and with the oldest, the parents always overprotect.
Sure.
They were the quintessential helicopter parents. They were a lot more laid back by the time my brother and sister came along. So by '97, I asked my dad. I said, "Look, I don't have a credit card. I need you to buy me Prince tickets." So he said, "Yeah, sure." And I paid for them, of course. But next thing I know, he tells me that I also got tickets for me and your mom. We're going with you.
Oh wow!
And he did
really?
that.
Must have blown your mind.
So you didn't have
my mind, yeah.
You didn't have an education campaign working for years to wear them down. They just said, "We're going to see what it's all about."
Basically, yeah. And and it was
You wonder, you must wonder, did they secretly listen to it while you were secretly listening to it throughout the '80s too?
It's so funny. I got my mother after Prince died in 2016. I got my mom the compilation album that they released that year, and I got her that for Mother's Day.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? So it's gone. It just went completely. It just did a complete 180.
So in all your travels in life and because you worked for ICP, you've worked in media, and you've interviewed a lot of people because you write about it in Purple Bananas. Did you ever get a chance to meet him, talk to him?
Never got a
interview
chance to meet him. The closest I came was this would have been back in 2012. My friend Champtown, who's a Detroit rapper.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember Champtown.
You know Champtown? My friend Champtown was working with this aspiring rapper at the time named Verdict. And Champtown hired me to do Verdict's press kit. They were recording in Minneapolis. And so I'm there in Minneapolis, and I said to Champ, let's go to Paisley Park. And he goes, yeah, sure. Champ and Prince were actually friends.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Champtown and Prince were good friends. And so we go ahead and drive over to Paisley Park, and the gates are all locked. It doesn't stop Champtown. We shimmy through the gates like we trespass onto Paisley Park. Right. And Champtown goes up. It's like, where is he, man? Where is he? And he knocks on the door and everything. No one's home, and I'm sitting here just like, we're on Paisley Park's. We're on the grounds of Paisley Park, and I'm expecting cops and security just to be on us, man. But they never showed up. But I'm there. There's pictures of me hanging out outside of the studio door and everything. So that was the closest I got a chance. That was the closest I got to meet. That was the closest opportunity I had to meet Prince. Damn. If he had been home, I would have got a chance to meet him.
How many times have you seen him perform live?
I saw Prince perform live 5 times.
Okay. What either in person or on TV? What's his greatest performance in your mind?
His greatest performance has got to be the Super Bowl halftime show in 2007.
Yeah,
I mean, because that was just. He was just at the peak of his powers that night. You know, and then you have the rain and just the atmosphere,
big white sheet,
the sheets
shadow.
And everything. It was just incredible, man. It was so dope.
What about the Hall of Fame
with my guitar? While my guitar gently weeps.
While my guitar
solo.
Weeps. Yes, that solo was incredible. And then him taking the guitar and just throwing it. It's like only Prince could do that, man.
What about his songs though? After Anastasia, what are 2 or 3 of your favorite songs of his?
Oh my goodness, so many. But I love If I Was Your Girlfriend from Sign of the Times. I really love that one a lot because it's really, really interesting from a gender point of view because here's Prince singing that he wishes he was a woman so he could understand his girlfriend better. I think at the time, nobody was really singing about that stuff. Love everything on the Purple Rain soundtrack. Love the Parade record with that Kiss on it.
Yeah, Kiss is
just a great song.
It's my favorite song. That and I Want to Be Your Lover.
Nice.
And Come, I think.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
No, I Want to Be Your Lover is an underrated jam.
It is, man. Oh,
that's fantastic.
That's great, man. I freaking love that one. Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, Prince never put out a bad record. He did put out a couple of them that I thought were a little bit subpar or whatever. Like he put out this one album of jazz called News.
Of course he did.
And it was which was almost unlistenable because Prince loved jazz. I mean, he actually worked with Miles Davis before. Prince loved jazz, but I don't think he understood jazz. And it kind of shows in that album. You know what I mean?
What about the new one that he finish it in like 2012 and buried it, and now he died, so they decided to put it out. American
Welcome to America.
Yeah,
that's a great album. He recorded that in 2010 and he shelved it.
It's so weird that he would shelve it like that.
Well, what's so funny is that lyrically it is so prescient to what's happening right now.
Yeah,
and a lot of critics were saying that same thing. It's like this could have been recorded in 2021. You know, it was just so on point about the political climate we're in, and it was something.
I do have a question. If we can just get back to the classroom for a second, what kind of teacher was Mr. Elric like?
M.L. was I took his public
Wait.
Often late, probably.
Yeah, but no, I took his public affairs reporting class, and it was a damn good class. And actually, I still have a letter of reference that he wrote for me, and I still use it anytime I apply for a job.
Was he funny though, like he is in life?
Yes.
Did he take that humor into the classroom?
He did.
Did he poke at you guys a little bit?
You bet you did. Because
in a loving way.
It was, he taught. I mean, ML taught me the hard work of doing public affairs reporting, and so he had to poke at us.
Did the classes ever go overtime by like an hour?
No. But
sometimes it's these extraneous questions that drag things out a little bit. And then the people who ask the questions seem to have other questions.
I just want to make sure it's not just us.
No. Jason was a great student, and you wouldn't know it now, but Jason, when he came into my class, had such a pronounced stutter that he could barely get a sentence out. And a big part of my class is participation, is people getting involved, getting in there. I hate reporters who sit in the back and just let everybody else do the work. And Jason dove in. I mean, and I may have mentioned this in the reference letter, but it's something that I personally never forgotten. The courage that it takes to get out there in a class with a bunch of strangers on a Saturday morning when you're tired, you probably came from your job the night before, and to dive into a discussion on a new subject and then to worry about whether you're going to be able to be understood. There is a courage and a character there that has been a part of who Jason is, that I've known for 15 years, that I've never forgotten, I've always admired. And if you listen to him now, you know, I'm telling you something you don't know. I mean, this is a man, and I don't know how you're so well spoken, if it's something where it's just self-confidence or if it's been some sort of therapy or something. But I mean, you know, you've always been a guy who had something to say, and no matter how challenging it may have been, you've always said it. And that's why I'm really proud of the book you've done and the person you are and how you've shared this. And I should probably pause, but I want to come back to something you mentioned a minute ago, because I think it's very important to your story and also important to one of your career stops with ICP, because you invited me to the Gathering of the Juggalos one year, and I didn't know very much about ICP except that they fought with Eminem, because I am the world's foremost expert on the early life of Eminem. But there was so much talk throughout that evening about people caring for themselves and not harming themselves and feeling good about who they are and taking that pain and that loneliness and coming together and saying, you're okay, we're together. And I don't know that much about ICP. I listened. It was entertaining. The first 3 acts that came on with makeup and hockey jersey, I said, oh, there's ICP. Like, that's not ICP. Okay, well, here's ICP. That's not ICP. Here's ICP. I was like, okay, this has got to be ICP. No, I'm like, I'm leaving. They're like, here comes ICP, finally. But I mean, it was such a positive thing. And talk a little bit about how you got involved with those guys and just where all that comes from, where it seems to be, you know, they're really obnoxious, they're really nasty, but then there's this sort of caring, which is, it's just weird.
Yeah, they care a lot about the Juggalos. You know, I mean, I think you said something pretty profound when you were talking about how, you know, music has the power to, you know, save you and everything. And it's with ICP's Juggalos, it's like that. Juggalos feel about ICP the way I feel about Prince. And you know, I've known a lot of Juggalos who have been talked out suicide by listening to ICP's music. I got hooked up with ICP back in this. I got hired in December of 2012. I was living in Dayton, Ohio at the time. I was working for the mayor down there.
Doing politics, right?
Yeah, I was working for the mayor. I worked for 2 mayors. I worked for a mayor in Toledo, and I worked for a mayor in Dayton. And I'm down there I'm down there in Dayton. I was working as a freelance writer as well, and I wrote a cover story for the Metro Times about this rapper named Danny Kaye. And Danny Kaye was one of ICP's heroes back in the day. He was the first Caucasian rapper in Detroit to make any noise. And this is like 87, 88.
This is before Kid Rock, when he was trying to be a rapper, and Marshall Mathers and
Eminem, Kid Rock, Uncle Kracker, ICP, all of those big white rappers, they all know Danny Kaye. Okay. Everybody was obsessed with Danny Kaye. But most people had forgotten Danny Kaye. So I wrote this career retrospective of Danny Kaye for the Metro Times for a cover story. Violent J and Shaggy got a copy of it, and they were talking about it on their radio show. And I wrote them a message just thanking them for, you know, the plug and everything and stuff. But I also sent Violent J a lot of ideas I had for Psychopathic, because I'm a juggalo. You know, so we talked about everything from T-shirt designs to music samples I thought they should do. I showed up with a lot of ideas, and they were so impressed by that they hired my ass. You know, and it was great. I worked for them for 5 years as the director of public relations.
You got to give us at least one crazy, never before told ICP story.
Okay. I do tell the story in the book, but I've never told a story on the air. So we'll do it.
Ooh, it's an exclusive.
It's a technicality.
It is.
I love it.
The
emotional content.
Emotional content. I was out in L.A. ICP had their own TV show for a couple seasons called Insane Clown Posse Theater on the Fuse Network. And I'm out there in LA doing a promo tour out there. They were on with they were on a few TV shows and a couple podcasts. And that night, I had to take a order of chicken wings and a salad to Violent J's room at the hotel because I'm out there with Shaggy Two Dope and ICP's assistant, and we're out having dinner or whatever. But Violent J is like, "No, we'll go back to the hotel. Just hook me up with some food when you guys are done." All right, fine. So I go up to his room, knock on the door. I knock again, and then there's still no answer. I knock again. This time I'm banging on the door, and then suddenly the door answers. The door opens a little bit, and all of a sudden you hear Violent J's voice just boom down the hallway. "Leave it outside the door. I'm naked."
No makeup.
No makeup.
Okay.
But it was just this. Nothing. I mean, it was just. But it was just
Not
like,
even the radio was on.
But it was just like, "Leave it outside the door. I'm naked." And people opened their doors down the hallway, like, see what the racket was, So I've never told that story on the air, but it was just to me that was one of the most hysterical things that ever happened, just because. There's Violent J standing there buck naked and he's just screaming at me.
Did he eat his food naked?
I don't know. I put the food in front of the door and I got the hell out of there.
Yeah, who's sticking around?
Well, the great Temple coach John Chaney, who died last year, used to like to put a mess of ribs on his bed and eat them naked. Get sauce all over himself. I remember that from a Sports Illustrated profile.
Whatever works, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
What years were you with ICP?
2012 to 2017.
So that's the height of the FBI looking into him.
Yes, it was.
Did you have to deal with the FBI?
Bet I did.
Yeah.
I didn't have to deal with like any FBI agents or anything like that. But
sure.
I was.
If you're public relations, I'm sure.
It's public. It's really difficult to do PR for a band that's on the gang list.
Yeah.
But most people in America thought thought that was just ridiculous. And
Sure.
rightly so. They're no longer on the gang list. The FBI got so much bad press as a result of this that they took Juggalos off. And actually, I don't think they publish the gang list anymore because they're just like, well, So, that was a really, really challenging.
I mean,
gig.
did you ever dive into any of the FBI file? Can you see that? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I used to try to
surveilling the band at all, or is it just simply about the fans?
I always suspected that the phones were tapped at Psychopathic. I just did. There was, because working there at that time, there was a real sense of this. You always felt like someone was watching you. Because just I don't know. There was just something very, very strange about those years. It was we felt like you always felt like you were being watched. You always felt like your emails were being scanned and stuff like that.
Yeah, wow.
So it was definitely a crazy time.
And what do you call those guys? I mean, do you say like, "Hey, Violent, I got your newspaper here," or "Too dope"? You got any change for the parking meter? I mean,
no, I would just call them Joe and Joey.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I would just call them Joe and Joey.
Okay.
But
by their names.
When I was around Juggalos, though, I'll refer to them as Jay and Shaggy.
Okay.
Keep the illusion.
Yeah, exactly. The kayfabe in the hip hop world is very real. So you have to keep up the you don't let people know what goes on behind the curtains.
Yeah.
And frankly, kids, you wouldn't want to be behind the curtains. So.
Yikes! Well, it sounds like nobody's wearing anything behind the curtains. So that might be.
I gotta tell you, it's an interesting book. I've been flipping through it, Purple Bananas. Your 1999 was kind of a crazy year when you came back to Detroit.
Yeah.
I moved, and your girlfriend.
I moved out. Yeah, I moved out here to be with I was living in Washington State, and I moved out to Detroit in '99 to be with my now ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And Sophia is what I refer to her in the book.
That's not a real name.
Not a real name. Some names in the book are real, some are not.
Have you kept in touch with? Do you know where she is or anything?
No, she doesn't want to talk to me. Last I heard, she got married and is like really in love with her husband and stuff. So I don't really.
Gross.
Yeah. So
that's her loss.
But I moved out from Washington to be with her, and we actually dated for like 3 years and everything, and then it blew up in my face as a lot of internet relationships do, and I joined I came to Detroit in '99, and I slowly but surely started to work my way up into working for ICP.
Okay.
You know, because I would go to shows, and I would go to I would go to like signings and everything, and because I'm a huge fan, and it was just small steps, just trying to get up to get enough courage to contact Violent J and say, here's some ideas, you know.
So there's some ICP stories in the book too.
Yes, there are ICP stories.
Okay, so Purple Bananas, How Prince Saved Me, and Other Selections from the Soundtrack to My Life by Jason Weber. Where can people get this, Jason?
It's available on Amazon. If you don't like Amazon, you can go to bookbaby.com. Bookbaby is actually the name of the publisher that I worked with to put the book out. So you can buy it directly from their website. But
it got a very good mark from Kirkus Reviews, I understand.
Yeah, it did. It did. They said that it was I think it was a often engaging and always entertaining memoir.
Well, that's
I'll take that.
That's more than most of us can say. So Jason, thanks for coming on. I can't wait to see what your next gig is, because every time I talk to you, you're doing something crazier and cooler.
We'll see what happens.
So that's Purple Bananas. Check it out, folks. We need to do a little plug here. Mark, you thinking
my turn?
Maybe Mr. Nowacki deserves a little insane.
Our buddy Luke Nowacki over at Pinnacle Wealth.
He's crazy. Silent Luke.
If you want your money to make money, call Luke 248-663-4748 because he provides rational financial advice. What are you going to do with all that money that you made? You got to make him earn money. Do you put it in stocks? Do you bonds, 401ks? What do you do? No one knows. Luke knows. Get advice. Get a strategy. Call Luke Nowacki at Pinnacle Wealth, 248-663. Get advice. 4748. Whoa, that was me echoing.
Because he'll make it echo.
I'm not ready for it.
Oh.
Wait, what will Luke do?
He makes it all about you, baby.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Royal Alliance Associates Inc. Member FINRA/SIPC. Royal Alliance Associates Inc. is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Royal Alliance Associates Inc.
Yeah, those guys ready for that one.
That's Luke for you, man. He's not too shaggy, and he's
very
dope.
Yeah,
but in the good way.
I saw what you're doing.
In the good way.
Good one.
So, good deeds. Luke is a very generous guy. He always supports great causes like Clark Park and other things like that. Oh, I got a Charlie horse. I'm dying.
What? Oh, fun. Wait, this is good. This is good content. He's standing up
like Ladelph.
Come on, suck it up.
This is unintentional, but now you can see my sweet ass Magnum 7 T-shirt because we're joined with by. Wow, that hurt. August Getschlag, who's here to talk about.
I love how no one wanted to help you.
Magnum 9. Yeah, that's what I want. All you guys rubbing the back of my thigh. I'm good. I'll work it out.
No, you could have stretched it out, or I don't know. We could have covered for you, but I'd rather.
Oh, are you guys going to put like the paddles on me or something? It's just a
Sean might.
A little electro.
August, save us.
August, tell us about the Magnum 9. Is it?
Did something
I
happen to
understand
Prince?
it's brought to you by.
What's going on? Did something happen to Prince?
Bacardi.
I've just been sitting here.
Yeah, he's
patiently.
He's
that was
with
wonderful.
us still.
Thank you all.
No, it's great. I actually started trying to find it on Amazon to download it. I didn't find it yet, but I'm going to find it. Okay. I'm going to buy that book online.
We might be able to get you an autographed copy.
Yeah,
if
you might
stick around in the green room.
The green room, yes. So, hey guys,
We're only taking cash.
How are you, sir?
It's been a while.
Yeah, how's things going?
Good. I haven't seen you since the pedal pub days.
Good night. Yeah,
that was a fun time.
And then, of course, I think one of the last like really fun nights I had in Hamtramck was at Whiskey in the Jar at Magnum 7, and then I was looking forward to Magnum 8, and then it turned out that somebody lit the world on fire.
Yeah, kind of fell apart there.
A bat, and now we got.
But it's back.
It's back.
It's Friday,
back, and we've had 2 years to prep for it. So now we have a presenting sponsor and everything. Yeah, I secured 3 different donations just while I was sitting here. From Quality Roots in Hamtramck, from Toyology in Royal Oak, and Fago. One of our partners in the fundraiser picked up a whole car full of Fago.
So you weren't wasting.
Now
time
they owe us some money
wasted.
for the free.
No
plug.
time was wasted.
Well, what is Magnum 8? Explain it for.
So, it started with one of my best friends, Mikey Smith, and Conrad, who works for the city of Hamtramck. At the time, I was working for the city of Hamtramck as a city clerk, and we all kind of bartended at Whiskey in the Jar on the side. And years ago, we, on a random, through the powers of Facebook, ended up throwing a tracksuit party based on a Facebook post.
Whoa.
And someone said, hey, I'm never going to wear this tracksuit. I can't believe my sister gave me this for Christmas. Hey, wear them up to the bar tonight, and it'll be funny. We'll all wear tracksuits. That turned into a giant fundraiser, which we've now on 9 of those. And we want to do something in the summer. And
now, could that be the Steve Austin party?
It could be.
He had a pretty sweet
Sure.
tracksuit.
Yeah, and people do compete with the coolest, most vintage tracksuits.
Okay.
And we do this one usually around Easter, like Good Friday has been the kind of the consistent date. We want to do something in the summertime, and this is about 10 years ago, because this would have been the 9th. Nice sound effects. Nice. And mustache parties were kind of like a thing 10 years ago, and we're like, well, let's do like maybe a Burt Reynolds party, and then, Mikey slaps me upside the head and says, Tom Selleck, Magnum PI.
Detroit.
And it's as easy of a costume theme as you can do. A tiger hat, a Hawaiian shirt, and then we sell the mustaches for $10 a piece. That was the first premise, and it had legs, and people started showing up and filled up this tiny little bar in Hamtramck called Whiskey in the Jar with 8 bar stools and a pool table. I believe you've been there.
I was elbowed out of it. It was quite crowded by the time I got involved in the event. It was very successful.
And since then, that was scrambling online and to local bars and to our friends in the bar business to get some gift cards and things to raffle off. And now we've got, Zach giving us a bike to raffle off every year. And we've got...
from Detroit Bikes.
Yeah, from Detroit Bikes.
The maker of the Soul of Detroit limited edition bicycle.
Yes, a fellow feather bowler, as I have been for a dozen years or so.
I say it's a unique kind of fundraiser. It's not the typical golf outing or some of the other things you would see. It's a night out at the bar to raise money. And where does the money go?
The money goes to the Hero Foundation. Thank you for asking, because I neglected that. Every year we switch back and forth with the tracksuit party and the Magnum party. It's either the money goes to the Detroit Friendship House, which is the only food pantry in Hamtramck. It only serves a 48212, and the Hero Foundation, which our buddy Mikey Smith is on the board of. It started in honor of our friend's father, who survived pancreatic cancer, which nobody does, and he lived a very long life after that. Just recently passed away from other things, but and so his daughter started the Hero Foundation, which provides meals and holidays, and during the holiday season when the breadwinner gets cancer and can't really provide, they step up and pay all the bills. All the bills. And it's a
pretty heroic.
Zero administrative fee, zero administration charity. So every dollar they bring in, they don't keep any of it. It all goes out the door. Because it's the founder is the daughter, and it's just that's what Katie wants. So she doesn't keep any money. It all goes out into the charity.
It's like the money I make from the podcast. It goes out the door. I don't keep any of it.
That's because you have daughters.
And then I got to pay for stuff.
It goes to me. It goes to Sean.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Now we got an adopted kid in Michigan State who's on a track team the rowing team. Kaylee.
That's a business transaction. Yeah. Do you think Selleck knows about this, and would you want him to know about it?
Every once in a while, someone tells us they reached out, or my grandma knew his mother from school, and someone always has a connection. If he knew it, that's fine, as long as he doesn't stop us from doing it. We'd love to have
and Tom Selleck are pretty good buddies.
No, not really.
Could you mention it to him?
I could. I mean, if I ever interview him again.
I think last time you were wearing that shirt, Sean mentioned it and was telling the story.
Yeah. Those,
yeah.
We'll never forget. Okay. So when and where is it? How do people get involved? And we know who it benefits, which is a great cause. How do we go to this thing?
Well, the event is actually this Friday, the 20th, at Whiskey in the Jar in Hamtramck. Starts at 8-ish. Our DJ, Tom T, gets off a plane from Dubai, where he's a world-famous DJ, and he's coming in. He always sets up and does this for us. So it's kind of like a special thing for him. And then at about 11 o'clock or so, and this kind of ties in with Jason, the Astronomicon is this weekend, which is put on by the guys in Twisted, which is sort of a like ICP, their style to make up rap stuff. And they put on this convention in Ann Arbor. One of the celebrities coming in is Ming Chen from the TV show Comic Book Men, who I happen to be friends with because we met him at Whiskey in the Jar through some other podcasters, brought him in from a convention. And we've been friends ever since, and he is going to celebrity bartend in the evening.
Damn.
He happens to be in town for the convention, and he's coming to his favorite bar, Whiskey in the Jar, in a Hawaiian shirt.
So I was thinking Magnum 9 because it should be the 9th, but we didn't have the 8th, so it's Magnum 8.
Magnum 8 because we missed out on what should have been 8.
Yes.
We weren't going to do like that, the Olympics and still call it 2020 and just go the 9. But Magnum 8's fine.
Okay. And you'll be selling cool T-shirts and all that other good stuff.
We do have shirts. I apologize. I didn't bring you the new one. But we'll see you on Friday night, right, when you're done canvassing?
I may close the bar, but I'll be knocking on doors until after dark.
That's fine. We'll save a shirt for you. So let us know what size.
That sounds good. Yes.
All you guys, anyone wants to come down, we'll grab shirts for you. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's a great cause. It's a good time.
Don't go dressed as TC, right?
Someone always comes as TC. There's always a Higgins.
Wait, not in blackface or anything, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. They're, our friends that show up as TC.
Totally joking.
But you
and we also
have to land your helicopter on the roof of whiskey in the jar.
And everyone always asks if we're the guys at the Tiger games.
Oh yeah.
And we're not, but we know them well. They're great. They're the downriver Magnums, and we're like the Hamtramck Magnums. And we do mix our parties, and so they come down to our event every year and support us, and it's great. They're good guys.
Damn, who knew there were so many Magnums around? Well, our favorite one is going to be at Hamtramck on Friday. So come out for Magnum 8 because you never know the way things are going. Maybe a while before we have Magnum 9.
And where, if you want more info, where can people?
We have an Instagram account, magnum_detroit.com, or just on the Book of Faces, just put Magnum 8 presented by Bacardi.
We'll link it up too on our site.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you say that Bacardi somehow involved? I may have missed that.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
The official title is
get some product and some money, so we're gonna push.
Yeah.
that
No. You got.
You know what that's like.
You got to.
Why does he ever?
Help out those who keep you going.
Right.
So,
right.
okay.
And we appreciate all that support. And then who knew 8 years ago that we'd have liquor companies, competing to sponsor? So.
Well, and who knew you'd be sponsored by Fago and you're sitting here with the man from ICP right next to you? I mean, there's a lot of crossover here.
Do you know how much you've raised overall? We
average about. We used to average like $2,000 an event for like the first 5 years, and thought that was great. Now we're up to 6-7 since we've.
So it's growing. That's good.
We've gotten a lot of that's from Zach, and having the bike to raffle off is a big deal.
It's a lot more than people realize too.
Yeah, I mean, over the years,
Hard to raise
two
money.
parties a year, we've probably raised about 50-60 grand over the years.
Good.
Damn.
Probably
not
more.
bad.
To be honest with you, so we have really generous friends and like
All
you
by
guys
hanging out at a bar.
Yeah, and I mean, I met ML at a fundraiser years ago, and that's kind of where this has come from.
Helping to get the word out. Absolutely. That's doing good deeds. It helps everything end up a little happier.
When it's over, I can finally shave. Just grow out just for the event.
Yeah, I'm glad you're not doing the mustache party. I need to get like a 40-year head start on that. It's not my strength, as Sean will mention momentarily.
Oh, no, you look beautiful.
Before we move on, did you want to mention the other sponsor who's patiently sitting here?
Well, I thought we would kind of do that with room 7609 because I want to tie it all together.
Well, let's get in there.
But what happened to Geek of the Week?
Sorry.
We don't have to do Geek of the Week.
Well, I mean, we're only way over. Which one do you want?
Just do Geek of the Week real quick.
Yeah, somebody did something Mike doesn't like. Okay, we're done.
I just want to point out on the rundown here. Geek of the Week, to be determined.
Yeah, and Mike.
I've been criticized. I've been criticized for scripting Geek of the Week. So now when I'm freelancing, I'm criticized for that too.
I was making an editorial decision.
He did. He was improvising.
But I think I know. I have my candidate.
Oh man, the geeks have inherited the earth.
Did I do that?
We're gonna skip Geek of the Week this week and go right to room 76. No,
what a dick.
Geek of the Week. Wait a minute.
Nope, I'm not doing it anymore.
Bigot!
There's an all-night party in room 7609. And you can dance together all night if you've got the time.
This week's Geek of the Week is ESPN's Bill Connelly, who made Bo Schembechler the 29th best coach ever and left Jim Harbaugh off the list. So you suck, Bill Connelly. Anyways, it's Sean's birthday here in room 7609.
Trying to say Harbaugh should be on that list?
Yes, he should be on that list. He did a great job at Stanford. He did a great job at San Diego. And Bo Schembechler never won nothing. How do you have Schembechler at 29 and Lloyd Carr at 42? That's outrageous. Anyways, we have a great song here for you in room 7609.
For Sean's birthday?
Before the great debate comes. Yes, it's Sean's birthday, so we have a special guest here, Mr. Dave Hubbard from The Butchery, which you can find at thebutcherysl.com. He has the finest quality products there, and he's also looking for some help selling them to the good people who have come to depend on him for the finest in meats, high-quality groceries, delicious desserts. They are hiring. You can go to thebutcherysl.com or call 248-682-2697. That's 248-682-COWS. They are closed Monday and Tuesday, but every other day they want you there working at a good wage. You can get tips, and I imagine every once in a while, you can take home some prime meats, which is what I advise everybody else to do. So Dave, thanks for joining us. I understand you brought a surprise for our birthday boy.
I did, ML. Thank you. Yes, we're hiring.
Maybe 55 spankings.
And we try to pay well. It's a really fun environment. We got a staff of 2, my wife and I. So you won't have to get used to many people when you come and join us. But we do have something very special for Sean's birthday. I went in this morning and I had a bunch of prime ribeye. So I chopped it up. I threw it on the flat top, and I put it on a bun and made a nice sandwich. Oh. And I put a little onion on there, and I made some fresh tortilla chips too, and some salsa.
Oh my goodness!
These tortilla chips are insane. Yeah. Now, do you sell these at the store, Dave?
We do. We sell tortilla chips at the store.
Look at those.
We have a
so you don't need to give those to Sean because
salsa.
he can go buy some.
You got to share with Sean. We also have some packaged salsa or some prepackaged stuff that we sell at the store. Some cherry salsa and some apple salsa, different stuff.
You make your own salsa here, right?
Yeah. We also have it packaged
dumb question,
for us,
my fault.
And we sell that too. So we got a couple of those.
Salsa.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a friend. I'll pass out some sandwiches.
Sound effect.
Thank you very much. This is awesome and unexpected.
So this week,
look at this.
Because it's Sean's birthday, I was going to play Happy Birthday by the Altered Images, a great Scottish new wave band.
I'm so glad you took a bite of something before you started talking.
But because I don't want to give Sean everything he deserves for his birthday, we're going to play another tune from Altered Images called Don't Talk to Me About Love.
While I'm eating. Oh,
I deserve nothing.
Don't talk to me what? He's choking his food down.
About love.
You
What a fury of people stuffing their faces with food while that song played.
What a spread. My goodness.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave.
I actually
Unbelievable, Dave.
I hate those chips because I'll eat a whole bag and afterwards I'll just feel shame, but they're so good and so salty and crispy and
delicious.
flaky and
ButcherySL.com.
Delicious.
the butchers. And if you go work there, Dave might even show you how to make them, or maybe when he's not looking, you can sneak one. So, but I don't encourage thievery. But that was Altered Images, who were fronted by a woman named Claire Grogan. Now, this is kind of both a deep cut for new wave fans, but also for fans of the movies of Bill Forsyth. She starred in a movie called Gregory's Girl that was really big in the early 80s, and it's about
the last movie you've seen.
A very awkward, I believe, Glaswegian who is really hot for this young girl on his soccer team. She's such a good soccer player. She plays with the boys, and he tries to get fixed up with her. And the movie basically goes through him being led by one girl to another girl to another girl. When he thinks he's going to meet the girl of his dreams, he actually ends up meeting Claire Grogan, who in the end turns out to be Greggy's girl. And, of course, they hit it off and fall madly in love. But they're a great band, big Susie and the Banshee fans who came together, put together a few albums. You probably have heard I Could Be Happy. That was a tune they had that made some waves. Their Happy Birthday tune, occasionally you hear that when people want to play something a little different, which is why we didn't play that, both because why should we, and because we know that we'll upset Sean if we don't play the obvious thing.
No, I'll never get upset.
Hey, it's his birthday. Be nice to him.
Well, we got him fed, so
that's all he cares about.
And they also had a song that came out that was unfortunate in the timing. The Smiths had a song that came out that in their last album that had an unfortunate crossover with current events. There's a lyric and it said, I fell down on the crossbar and the pain was enough to make a small bald Buddhist reflect and plan a mass murder. That came out right after, around the same time that there was a mass murder. So that was unfortunate.
Oops.
Wait a second. We're eating shaved prime rib or chopped up and homemade chips. You're talking about mass murder?
Talking about the Smiths, man.
I didn't say he flayed somebody. This wasn't Silence of the Lambs. But the unfortunate music meets reality hits. I have a great story about Carpaccio, but we'll save it for another time.
Good job, Sean.
Happened in a small town in France. Anyway, the unfortunate confluence of music and current events that struck Altered Images was their song Dead Pop Stars came out right around the time John Lennon was killed. So it was it's not a bad song, but it didn't quite get the radio airplay you would have expected. So that's Altered Images and our birthday tribute to Sean that doesn't involve playing Happy Birthday.
Thank you very much.
So,
and thank you, Dave.
Happy birthday
What a great surprise.
to him. I don't care.
Delicious.
So there you go. Jam-packed show. Just want to catch you up on a couple of things. We have no donors this week. That's an unfortunate situation. Mark, how do people donate?
MLSoloDetroit.com, little donate button. Smash it away.
And we still have lots of great gear. I know you're thinking, boy, I hope they sold out all their masks and gaiters because we're never going to be wearing those again. Well, we didn't, and yes, you are. So go get our great swag at DrewandMikeStore.com. You can get hoodies, long-sleeve T-shirts, beanies, trucker hats, keychains, hockey jerseys, all kinds of cool stuff. And yes, the grooviest masks and gaiters you will ever see. It's been a little while since we had some feedback because we've been busy with guest hosts and elections and things like that and trying to catch up. We do have as Mike Clark might have said, a full bag, so let us work through that. Todd writes, congratulations on advancing to the City Council election finals. With the well-documented ongoing failures at DTE at the studio and across the area, it's a great week for the Dams. Wait for Blackout. I know they're rightly thought of as more of a punk band, but you use a broad enough definition of new wave that this can probably qualify. Plus, they're British, so another opportunity to piss Sean off.
That is a very broad definition.
Happy birthday from Todd. And, of course, Dave was struck by the power outage at the butchery, so... So yet another victim of our unreliable electric grid. Hopefully this infrastructure bill will pass Congress and we can get some help fixing this stuff.
How long were you without power?
2 weeks. 2 weeks ago it was about 28 hours.
So how much inventory did you lose?
That was we won't talk about that. And then yesterday was about 4 hours, and we just tossed a couple grand worth of stuff this morning. But yeah, the other one was a massive insurance claim that who knows what happened with that.
Nice infrastructure, DT.
Yeah, this food wasn't.
Yeah,
this was
the good
though.
meat, right?
No, not enough.
Okay.
I'll eat scraps. I'll eat spoiled
I know, is
scraps.
it kombucha? What is that stuff that spoils in the dirt and they feed it to people? I don't want any of that stuff. Only the highest quality products. Sean knows about it. He had someone he was stealing a moped in Saigon.
Yes. Tokyo.
Yes. Lana, he is paying attention. Lana lashes out. Did you see under a story detailing approximately 850,000 residents lost power this week? MLive reports we can all try to apply for a measly $25 utility credit. How much meat, dairy, juice, and other perishable foods are in the average Michigander's fridge? We eat like birds and don't stock much, but we easily lost $300 in food alone. I did see that, and here's the bad news, Lana. Your power must be out continuously for 120 hours.
What a joke.
To qualify for that measly $25.
And I really, you don't have to comment, but to me, this screams like a political stunt. Like they're doing something. Why don't you maybe look forward and make sure they trim trees and fix infrastructure so we don't lose power again? $25 and you have to be out for 120 hours? And as she pointed out, where's that $25 cover? It just makes it look like Nestle's doing something or making them be held accountable to the errors of their grid.
Well, this has been around.
Horseshit.
I think it's something the Public Utility Commission approved. But yeah, no, they're
patting themselves on the back to make it look like they're doing something.
It's such a pittance that it's more insulting than offering us nothing at all. Veronica verbalizes, "Dear Michael, congratulations on making it through the primary. Did you immediately pick up any endorsements from your primary challengers and or any of their bigger endorsements?" Well, certainly.
Thanks for listening to the podcast.
You saw she sent this in the lawyer. Tucson. I'm assuming UAW City Workers Union, City Police Union, Detroit Teachers Union, and of course Mike Duggan are sought after endorsements. Most of those are sought after. We have quite a few of them, and we are hoping to get more. With the latter, does Mike Duggan summon you to the Manoogian Mansion and interview before granting his blessing? No. And shoot us straight. How much coin do you reckon you need to make this happen and pull out the W?
That's an interesting.
God bless Veronica and David. Well, sadly, I figure it's going to cost somewhere around $100,000. And if you'd like to help, you can make a donation at ML4Detroit.com. Because Veronica and David, with your help,
smooth plug,
we will get that
You're
W.
Such a politician.
Also, if you'd like to volunteer, we really need the bodies more than we need the money. So if you want to walk with us, make some phone calls, send some postcards. You can sign up there too at ML4Detroit.com.
Walk with the Lord.
Finally, catching up. Yeah, don't choke on that there, Bert.
That's what I was laughing at, yeah.
That's God's will. Finally, catching up on an old
He's
email.
die now. Look at him. He's trying
with
to
this
kill
gem
that man
from
on his
Kristen,
birthday.
received on the eve of the primary. She says, "Hi, ML. I just wanted to wish you the best of luck in the election. Hope you go all the way. I truly believe you would fight for the people and their needs and not be swayed by any bribe or bullshit like that. And if you can put up with Sean, you can..." No, she didn't say that last part. Take care. And Alex opined on primary day, "Praying for you."
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Whatever works.
I just plugged shamelessly the campaign website, ML4 Detroit. If you want to follow us on social media, we're making news every day on Facebook and Twitter at ML4 Detroit. Please follow us and share. I was going to ask what Sean is up to, but it looks like he's up to his wrist with that sandwich in the back of his neck.
Well, no, make him answer now when his mouth's full.
Cyrus, take us
I
out.
was going to say football. How about that? Just got back from Vegas. There you go. Is that quick enough?
I thought I got it in there. Okay.
That quick enough? There you
Make
go.
him talk more while he has food in his mouth. It's great.
Yeah, Sean, and I understand you're
Look
quite
at
the
him,
talented whistler.
Furiously chewing.
Can you
No, I
favor
can't.
us with sitting by the dock of the bay?
I can't whistle at all.
Your mouth.
But no, that was a setup so you could whistle.
No.
It's always a setup for yourself. It's a beautiful thing.
That was an invitation for you to spray bits of prime meat all over my face, so I'm glad you didn't take me up on it.
You grew up and you played catch with yourself, didn't you?
I did throw the ball on the roof a lot. And did you ever notice if you got that ball right on the edge of a step, it would just launch out at an incredibly hard and high trajectory?
No, because I had friends. And they had mitts. Anyway,
But if you do it by yourself, you're always the best
I had
at
no
it.
friends at all.
Sometimes it's lonely to be the only one who really knows.
I know. I had no friends at all.
So just want to thank all our guests today. Jason Weber, author of Purple Bananas. August Gitschlag, the mastermind behind Magnum 8, brought to you by
Bacardi.
Bacardi. Okay,
Thanks.
I missed that.
Thanks.
And of course, Dave Hubbard, a sponsor of the show, a caterer to the show, and a guy who is putting a big smile on Sean's face, which isn't easy because the self-loathing sometimes is on there as thick as horse.
And he's a supporter of our college athlete.
No, the self-loathing is deep.
Damn it.
Not on the face.
Yes, and of course, he supports our name and image likeness athlete, Kalina Neese, who will be going back to Michigan State. We will be following her rowing career throughout the season, and we will be hearing from her before this is all over. All our other sponsors, of course, we appreciate them, and we hope that you can make it to the Caju Cafe for the first ever Muscle Beach Music Festival, Thursday, September 2nd through Monday, September 6th. If you got some time on your hand, there's that Drew and Mike podcast. It's pretty good. And, of course, the Charlie LaDuff No BS News Hour, all brought to you by our friends here at the Red Shovel Network. And it's been a long day, a lot to talk about, a lot to listen to. Please like, share the podcast. And there's only one thing left to say. Cyrus, would you please allow me to eat this delicious sandwich?
Can you dig that?
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
As
M.L., Mark, Sean,
and their companions hurtle through space, bound for an obscure star, hidden away in an endless cosmos, we wish them Godspeed. A journey that started in the frozen, sterile wastes of one world will terminate, we trust, on the less barren, welcoming soil of another, where they can build an exciting, fresh new world by profiting from some of the mistakes of this one.